Most welcome to Unified Fields. I would come up with the word, how do you feel? How do you feel? We are closing off the old cycles forever. And of course, there is a lot of stuff going on. But then again, the portals are open to get all of that big new stuff in. So the question is, how do you feel? What are you letting in today and over the weekend, because this grand transition is about moving the house of light, that fixed fire, into your heart center and feeling those sun streams moving through all of your senses, and never go back to the old. Never let anyone tell you how to feel ever again. And that is your biggest power anyways, moving back into your house of light, bringing all these brain waves into your heart center, because that is all that you have. The heart has been closed off for so many eons, thinking we had love in the heart, thinking we had the higher senses in. Unless they start talking like they do right now, you will feel this a lot better in the course of next week. That is pure victory and streaming in the exactitude of a new beautiful cycle. So many people over the weekend are leaving the old ways of love behind, and it's about time. Love that killed them, love that was convenient, love that they never felt, never knew what love was. Meaning stepping into relationships while there was no senses that would even have attracted the heart-to-heart communication. It is not the brain, it is not your root center that needs to align to a perfect attraction. So people these times are leaving behind these frustrations, these old cycles, this I will act like anyone else will tell me to do. That is over and done with. We are moving in the authenticity of feeling what your vibration is about, and that is true power, setting that correct through the galaxies, through the universe, because it's all there. So never think anything less of you, and so the heart will start to think, and these brain waves will reconnect with your heart, and allowing self to think about what is love. How do you open these ley lines into your heart and high heart capacity, because we are living the age of communication. Yeah, communication is so, it's nothing to do with this Mercury retrograde or anything. We are never in a stationary place unless we station ourselves up there. There's many systems that can communicate the new cycles through. It depends on your knowledge. What do you want to know? What do you want from life? Do you want to start living? That is what this cycle is really about, and leaving anything that doesn't match your heart center. The brain will catch up anyways. The brain never has any problematic static so far, unless you allow all these old mind cycles through, that whether that connected to dams, to the water in the body, and created dams. Break through these old dams, let the rivers flow out, and be yourself. Communicate with people. A new communication system has opened, and people do not allow the old boring stuff any longer. It is up to us to see crystalline lights, Be the I am powerful. I am my sun streaming. I am the word that commands my own life, and take responsibility, and do not let ever anyone else tell you how to do that. It's up to you, and that is what is streaming through our senses with the highest peak in the sun, and you know, the sweet and beautiful eclipse coming through over the weekend. And I felt this on a high level here in Belgium, and as it happened this morning, very early in the morning. And so, you know, Yitsung is a Japanese word which I find very interesting in a way that it means wherever you are fractured, you can fill it up with a cup of gold. They fill every fracture with gold. That was what it means. And so that is a very clever and way, you know, to see through things, leave the old behind for what it was, unless it still cycles. Take responsibility, cut it out of your veins, your nervous system, and create a new nervous output. Bring all that power, these faculties that you have in your brain, down to your heart center, and let your heart speak on a higher level. So many people, you know, they still just adapt to the old ways of interrelating with people while they feel it's not what they want any longer. And so the universe is pulling it through anyways. There is no stopping the universe, right? With so many powers coming down, and such a high technology we can all apply. That is pure alchemy. Alchemy is there all of the time, at any level. It depends on our brainwaves and our attitude or character towards that. Are we willing to polish, you know, these minor levels that we have that might still go into a judgmental strata? But, you know, it's not having an opinion or judging anything. What we're being asked with what is coming through right now is having our psyche talk, our spirit talk, the philosopher's way. And so what I witness a lot of time is like, I don't judge, I don't have an opinion, so I don't talk. That is not the way we're going to open up new cycles. New cycles is asking us to communicate on a higher level, but really communicate and bring these new systems through. We all have our Wi-Fi station that goes universal into the beyond, depending on what you would like to connect to. And so many people get different stories through, which is, you know, quite obvious and so lovely to see as well. It's all about, you know, bringing people together, mixing up, and like, you know, I'm more than a weirdo. When I go out in society, have a drink somewhere, I immediately gather everybody around me. I'm like a great communicator. You know, people ask me, how come you talk about all these different levels, you know, in human consciousness? That's because everything is consciousness. You cannot put consciousness out because creation is consciousness. So it's easy to get your consciousness at any level that you want, and breaking that down to the smaller levels of consciousness, the details in which you're interested, that can bring a lot of relief to the human embodiment that is up-leveling its psychological content. So that is speaking out for self and not allowing anyone else to talk for you. You can do it. We are all very, very strong beings with a lot of remembrance. So here I would say, let the sun shine through your senses and open these elixirs with new elements. Elements for you. Elements that upgrade your level of being, that upgrade your style of living. And this time around, that all comes down to how we love. How do we love each other? All of us, we all have a different way of giving love, of loving somebody, be it in friendships and jobs and a personal partner. We have a different way, and that is the attraction that is coming true. And each way of loving comes, somehow is embedded in our psychological content with the likes we have in life, and especially the passion. If the passion is not seen, we cut down our love. I mean, love is pure passion in communication, in science, in mathematics. That is all a deep level of love you can experience whenever you want, whenever you are open to do that. And it's not only about coding and breaking the heart open finally, because that is very important to know. How come your heart beats all the time? Because that is your life, your living lifeline, right, to your source. Because when that breaks, you stop breathing, you stop living, so to speak. Although our spirit goes on and on and on. Right, so it may be a good time to reflect on the heart component and how you can start thinking from the heart. Bring your intelligence in the heart and see how that measures open to new levels that you really want, but maybe never thought about. We are having a time of true victory over density and leaving those old lanes for what they were. Even though they were very difficult for many, many people to understand that, still we have to move through our own charts with the universe and understanding we are somehow globally interconnected with everybody. We are moving into a field of oneness minus density. So once you start living this field on light earth and moving everything into the highest frequencies of light, you do not experience any density any longer, because you only meet people on the same level. You meet people that are in these very exciting positive vibes. So it's a matter of continually still deleting, not allowing. And so you will see you move into a complete new era for yourself, and that has all to do with the heart. And that is a big transition we will move through until December. And there is so much to that. So think about, how do you love? Why do you love? How is your partner? Do you have a partner or not? I think it's very important to move that along. I mean, one particular day, I was moving in the city having a glass of wine, and I had about 7 or 8 men around me, and it was such an interesting conversation. They had all a large ley line of let's say trouble, of frustration really in relationships and the sexual content in there, because they are feeling they wanted to move out of the old sexual content and really start to love first and foremost before sex comes. So that is a big and wonderful inversion, and that will move through anyway. So we can make conversations very interesting as long as we stand in our power, in our truth, and speak as we are, because the age of communication will open that anyways. And so the heartbeat, I mean, give it some time apart. Start loving yourself on a different level. That is exploring self, you know. Like there is so much data out there to which we can all connect with so much new technology, some ancient refurbished, so to speak. But anyways, it's all so new and beautiful to reconnect. So I would say enjoy this time around and move those things in your heart. It's a very easy way to say goodbye to the old. They have to dissipate anyways, like an automatic. That is the new, timeline, so to speak, coming true. We don't have to do or explain ourselves anymore, although sometimes the word needs to be put depending on situations. Depending if things keep on cycling, okay, get it out. But, make it clear for yourself, you are done with this, and you want a new cycle of connections, of friendships, love in your life, friends that are loving to you, and not accept anything less. We all have little flaws and stuff going on, and but let's keep it on the higher ley lines, and put your crowning glory in. And I would say, interested in the alignment that is really moving into the higher heart center with the house of light, Shambhala. That is quite some technology I got from my spirit guides and the Ascended Masters, and that was very funny to witness. So sometimes I work a lot with Kuan Yin. Like, she knows how to handle me, I can be straightforward and do these things. And so I was running my miles, and she popped up and she started laughing, but really laughing. I said, gosh, it's going on my nerves. I must have done something, or again, maybe not listened to her. So I resetted my brain straight away, and then she showed me, all right, Nick, here's the right thing. The wheels moving. It was like, I was lifted like a pink phoenix, pink feathers, and that black, almost dragon light, or these big black birds that we have. They lifted my wings. Like, it was fantastic to witness, but only to show me like a wheel or the vortex is moving the embodiment into the ascent. There's a lot more technology to that. And so I went into the technology of the spokes we have and wheels, like, on a bicycle. And imagine all those spokes, like in every energy center that we have, and it moves and it catapults all that stuff in platonic solids, in new geometrical patterns. So I've seen that the whole energy field we have came into my head center with pink and yellow lights, and that is like that fixed fire into the house of light, bringing you in the wings of power that brings through the new frequencies to the heart, and some kind of that a lot more easier I will bring through in individual session, because that breaks the heart into the new cycle, and that is what we need everything moving into victory, into joy, into, I mean, I'm done with the word completion. Although we have to understand these levels, right? So here I would say you find the information in the description box. There's a small online also into the house of light, and moving that fire open, as I still see many women here, you know, having the complexity in the sacral and the solar center that needs to flatten out, and so we can really move through that because it holds the old waters cycling through while the new rivers are ready to move through you and bring that passion through. Without passion, how can we love, really? Bring that love through. Without passion, I feel my love beat, my love streams are on a very low level. I need that passion. I need to get up in the morning, get that passion through, no matter, you know, the ley line, no matter what is happening, because you can interconnect and connect and do it in very, very simple ways. And that is also part of the new heartbeat, is how I would term it. The heartbeat that only wants to know love. No more convenience, no more, you know, taking power away from anyone else. We are made to be powerful beings and standing in that true power. And so all these new things on every level can just fly in like a bird kingdom. The new bird kingdom has been born with this solar eclipse. So please enjoy it and let it eclipse, let it go, let it fire out and find your true fire. So really, please remember, this is all about getting your destiny in, and your destiny, that is the heart that speaks through the brain, or the other way around, but you know, merge those two. And you know, anytime anyone cuts your heart down, they cut you down, and that is not acceptable. It means they do not accept who you are, what you have to offer, your entire essence. And I guess many people have been going through a lot of painful, very painful stuff, because for more than a year we have been cutting off friendships, relatives, whatever. For some it was painful, for some was, I mean, for me it was a big relief, like they went like beautiful cosmic sandwiches into another universe of their own. And that is because we do not allow any more heartbreak. If you're not being appreciated, respected, acknowledged for the person that you are, then that causes a heartbreak. If you're not being respected in the job that you're doing, that causes a heartbreak. You're not being respected, loved and acknowledged in your relationships, that causes heart disease. And we don't want that anymore, because we are moving into a destiny. All that we need right now is faith. Faith in the changes that are coming in the next 2 weeks. They're going to be beautiful. You only need faith. You need your heart space back in, and just reconnect to what you truly are. That is pure beauty. Beauty through the word. Beauty through your expression. Beauty that comes through the art that we all are pieces of art, because we know we construct ourselves from one kind of elevator into a new one. And anyways, our higher essence, what people sometimes term the higher selves, the many cells that are up there are coming straight into the heart. So there's no escape anymore. And so all I can advise, skip all those that are still trying to put you down, that are still trying to pull a negative vibe through. Skip it, turn around. I mean, if you are in that space that is only light consciousness, no way anything of that kind of species can move through. You will not experience it any longer. If you're still in trouble with that, turn it around. Keep yourself updated to your heart space and tell them, I do not want that anymore. I want a different kind of love. There is love for everybody on every level. And if some kind of love doesn't match your vibration, you know, just let it go for what it was. And allow the new spaces to come true for you. Because everything is in renewal mode in this universe, and it's going to be so beautiful if we just allow these doors to open up. You know, many are thinking, I feel myself like in a nowhere status, a nowhere place. That is not quite so. You are really closing and completely completing the rumble tumble of all old cycles, and getting in the truth that you are, that you find acceptable for yourself. And that are many changes in jobs, relatives, relationships, friendships, every connection that we have, even the connection with yourself, of course, because that is the highest level of intelligence that comes and opens up to your heart space. It cannot possibly be otherwise, because we need to really have that higher level of communication with the heart first and the brain that follows suit to that new era that we are going to live in, that new space you create for yourself. And it's like, you know, leaving one big time capsule and moving in that new rocket space, if you so allow. So I wish you all good luck in the coming weeks. Just trust, have faith, and allow the manifestations of your heart desires to come true and match where you are willing to move. The universe needs to know what is your next move. And I can only say we can only feel better, more authentic, more in love, especially because love has never been as important as it is now, as people are realizing that they lost so much through so many heartbreaks, heartaches that cause disease upon disease. So we are done with that, and let's rejoice and embrace that new space on light earth, that new consciousness, and just allow what needs to go, you know, can only get more and more beautiful, because that is what we are, true beauties on earth. So enjoy this wonderful eclipse, the last level of eclipse coming through, that will take on all those new beautiful downloads from the universe, and which is a great gift. So let's deepen our devotion, let's deepen our gratefulness, and feel blessed at all times. So I'll be putting out more in the coming weeks about these streams and frequencies coming through. So thank you so much for subscribing, liking, listening to my videos and information that is coming through. Wish you all the best.